Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video on the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sankalp and I make videos related to business, startups and finance. I also run a podcast called as The Sankalp Show where I invite some of the awesome guests to have a word of worth with all of you guys. So in today's video, we are actually going to discuss about something called as Flipkart Mafia, which means that we are actually going to discuss about some of the startups which are actually created by ex-employees of Flipkart and now they are extremely successful. So without any further ado, let's get started with the video. Now from the international startup ecosystem point of view, we know that what exactly PayPal Mafia is. In order to give you a context of PayPal Mafia, it basically means that the employees who had worked at PayPal, like that of Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Reid Hoffman and a lot of different other employees had actually left PayPal and started their own startup which are extremely successful as of now. Now some of the startups which are actually started by the ex-employees of PayPal include startups like Tesla, SpaceX, LinkedIn, Slice and a lot of different other startups. Now all of these things I've actually seen in the West, and what if I tell you that the exact same thing is also happening in India with something called as Flipkart Mafia. Now similar to the PayPal Mafia, Flipkart Mafia also means that the ex-employees of the Flipkart have actually left the job at Flipkart and started their own ventures which are extremely successful as of now. Now in this video, we are going to discuss some of the top startups which are actually started by ex-employees of the Flipkart. Now being from the software industry myself, I know that getting into Flipkart as an SDE or as or at any other different position, it is equally difficult as of to get into any big company like that of FAANG. Now FAANG basically means companies like Facebook, Google, Netflix or Tesla maybe. Now there's a very famous saying in the ecosystem and it goes like, if you have worked for Flipkart for 3 to 4 years, it is very much equivalent to working at your own startup for 9 to 10 years. Now there is definitely something very special about the ecosystem under which the Flipkart really operates. Now before actually starting out with the startup, let me give you a brief history of how Flipkart really started back in 2007. Now Flipkart was founded by two IIT Delhi graduates back in 2007. They had also worked in Amazon previously and they thought of starting out their own ventures in 2007. Similar to Amazon, Flipkart also started by selling books in the Indian market. Now back in 2007, e-commerce industry was not really a thing in India, and that's where the Flipkart was trying to sustain itself in the Indian e-commerce market. Now initial phase of the startup was really difficult as there were a lot of difficulties which were actually faced by Flipkart founders, but later on when they picked up the pace, it was really a great successful business. Some of the top startups that are currently working as great as possible, and they had been founded by ex-employees of Flipkart. Now starting out with the very first startup that is actually founded by the ex-employees of Flipkart is called as PhonePe. Now PhonePe is one of the most dominant UPI payment app. It started back like 2 to 3 years ago when UPI was a thing in the Indian market, and since its beginning, PhonePe has been one of the top most UPI payment gateway, right? And recently it has covered around 46.7% of the entire UPI market in the India, and this is one of the highest market share that any UPI app has actually covered. Now you have already guessed the success rate of PhonePe app, and now it is currently sitting at the valuation of $5.5 billion. Now next in the line we have Udaan. Udaan is one of the best startup for all the retailers and MSME owners which are there in the India. Now it is a common platform for all the retailers and MSME where they can connect together and they can share or buy or sell, and they can basically do business among themselves. Udaan is a network-centric B2B trade platform designed specifically for small and medium businesses in India. Now moving on to the third startup, which is called as groww. Now this is actually a startup which is actually started by two fitness freak engineers who were really frustrated by the current situation of the fitness industry. Now this startup is definitely going to bring a revolution in the fitness industry. Now if I want to summarize the entire point of startup into one single line, then I would say that it is the social media platform for all the fitness freak. That the people who are related to the fitness industry, they get together on a single platform. They can exercise at the same time. They get some of the best exercising tools and techniques that anybody else in the gyms are really offering. The KIIT Fit is definitely going to bring a lot of evolution in the fitness industry. Now moving on to the fourth startup, which is called as Navi. Now Navi is basically a digital lending app which provides you loans of up to 5 lakh rupees instantly through a completely paperless process. Now if you have ever been to bank and applied for a loan, you must be aware of all the hustle bustle that is actually present in the banks, right? Now Navi is basically a startup that actually declutters a lot of chaos between you and getting a loan of up to 5 lakh rupees instantly without any sort of papers involved. Now moving on to the last startup called as groww. Now, groww has been one of my most favorite stock trading platform. Initially, when I started out my investment journey, I actually was very fascinated by the UI and UX of groww. I actually started out with groww because it was so easy to understand how stock really work and how everything around it really works out. So, groww is basically an investment app that helps you to invest in various stocks or mutual funds or gold or ETFs and a lot of other things. And if you really want to start out your own investment journey, then you can definitely go ahead and start it out with groww. So this is it for the video, guys. I really hope that you must have enjoyed throughout the video, and do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now till then, take a very good care of yourself and we'll meet in the next video. Bye.